what are your thoughts on just a little bit about that in terms of making sure you actually have vehicles that drive those specific cases, whether it's implants or sleep or whatever it may be?
Yeah, so, when I have a patient that just comes to my practice for a checkup, I'm happy to welcome that new patient. And yeah, sometimes that hoping that they walk through the door works, and I tell them about, we can do something for that missing tooth or missing teeth. And yeah, sometimes they're like, oh, that would be great. In many cases, that's not what brought them in. They're here for a checkup.
Sure.
And so they said, it's been like that for a while. I'm okay. And so that's fine. Happy to treat those folks and educate them, but that's not necessarily what brought them in. But with great marketing efforts that educate people, we're either grabbing them wherever they are on Facebook, online, and letting them know there's an option, or we're capturing the people that are searching for these answers. And now we're bringing someone in with a specific purpose. They already have a desire to have this procedure, this service done. Well, we are coming from a much different position than now trying to generate that interest in someone that was just here for a checkup. So absolutely, through word of mouth and getting new patients in the door, you can hope and you will be able to provide that service for patients. But I think you'll see a spike in the number of procedures you're doing when you're appealing to the people that are actively looking for that service.
Right, and I think especially with the advent of the internet, someone, when they go to their smartphone or they go to their desktop, whatever they're typing in is their intention, right? They're putting in words, whatever's in their head to fix their problem. And to paint your picture on the other side of the difference between someone who just came in for a cleaning, they're in total shock maybe when you say we could maybe fix that issue with an implant or whatever it may be, is when someone's coming in with that intention, they're more qualified, they're more educated, and they're choosing someone.
Yeah.
They're making a decision with someone. And I think that's where putting your best marketing foot forward, you want to be top of mind. You want to be, having your Google AdWords show up. You want to have your reviews present. You want to be where they are. And that way, when they come in, they're less likely to be talking about price, shopping you around, right? They've come in with the idea that, you know what, I feel real comfortable with all of this. Let's get this going, as opposed to getting hit out of left field. And that applies to like any business. It's like getting your car fixed. You go in for an oil change and they come out, oh, by the way, you need new brakes, new muffler, and a new belt. And you're like, oh my, that's like $3,000.
Yeah.
Same thing with a patient who comes in who just thinks they're coming in for a simple checkup.
Absolutely.
And then they get sideswiped with this huge problem that's expensive and invasive, and they're just, what just happened to me? And they lock up, and I'm sure you see this in your practice. They lock up, you give them a case presentation, you give them a quote, you send them home, and they never fix the problem.
Yeah, or they do it piecemeal. You're starting from a tougher point when you have a new patient. And it's always tough. Dentists know when a new patient comes to your office, especially if they haven't been to a dentist in a long time, they may have an idea that there's something wrong. But the real tough spot is if they have been seeing someone and that other dentist just wasn't diagnosing perhaps as much as they could have proactively. So now it's a tough position to say to someone when you first meet them, hi, nice to meet you. This is going to cost $5,000-$10,000 to fix problems that you didn't even know you had.
Right.
And that's a challenge. And we can get there in time, through education, through compassion, and that's part of the job. But my goodness, there are, as you said, there are those patients out there that know they have problems. They just don't know that you exist yet. So help them find out that you exist, that you're compassionate, and you can educate them further about their options. A much more, to use a business and a marketing term, a qualified lead. And again, we'd like to don't consider patients in that regard, but that's the correct term. You get a much more qualified lead to come into that practice. You're right, they're less focused on the finances. They're not looking at this service as a commodity. They know they have a problem. They're searching for the solution, and here you are to offer it to them.
Yeah, and that can go into Invisalign. It can go into sleep, TMJ, any of those different, even cosmetic, veneer cases and things like that. There are people who are going to technology with an intention to make a buying decision. And the numbers support that. I think the statistic is upwards of 86% are whoever do a local search online, make a buying decision from that search.